obviously it's come to this time of the year that we release squad numbers. Last year I did probably the same interview with you, and you discussed that it's not really about what squad number you've got, it's more about just going out there on the field. Is that still the case?
Yeah, it is to us as players. Obviously, if you've been a number for a long period of time, it's always nice to keep that number, and probably it's not nice to drop down numbers, but you know, at the same time the coaches always make us aware that it's not anything that holds a bearing on the team selection or anything like that really. Pretty much with our squad this year, people have come in and just replaced the numbers that was here last year. So you know, people have come in like Mitch just taken straight over one of the prop jerseys, but that's just a normal thing really, and as players you don't worry about it too much. I mean, over my time I've been number 28, 32, I've had all sorts of numbers, so it doesn't matter too much at all really to us.
Obviously for the younger players, they've not got that experience within there, and last season they've come through, they've played really well. Can it be difficult for them to get their head around it? They might be expecting a higher squad number. Yeah, I think sometimes, yeah. I think it depends on your own personality and how you view things really. I think some people, if they don't get the squad number they want, would probably take it up on themselves to work a bit harder and maybe try and get that number again next year, but I don't think it does hold too much bearing, as I said before. But don't get me wrong, at the same time, if you are a young player like Tommy or someone like that who's come in and taken a shirt in the first 13, then you're obviously going to be really proud of that. But at the same time, it's not a case of when it comes to the first game, Ches is going to pick 1 to 13 or 1 to 17. It just never works like that, as much as, you know, some people might view it like that. It's just not the case. Obviously it's a big squad this season, much stronger. It's great that we've been able to get that competition in most spots, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think last year you look at the squad that we had, and it were a very good squad, but as soon as we got a few injuries we were quite light on the ground really, and not much to come in. I think we were really lucky last year with the fact that our halfbacks played pretty much all year together. Milky and Finney did a great job. Obviously we've got more competition there now with Sam Williams coming in as well, and Kyle Wood can cover there. So, and then you look at, I think we lost a lot of experience really in the middle, and it were important that we replaced that really well. You know, the likes of Scroots moving on and Scott Anderson, people like that. So we've done a really good job as well. Bringing Craig Hugh in late on, and also Mitch as well have come in and really hit the ground running.
So we've got competition in there now for Max and Tom, both youngsters that played exceptionally well last season. Obviously it's good that they can get out there and get that experience, but how vital is it that they get that rest throughout the season?
Yeah, it's tough. I think you can see with performances of a lot of players that play all the games in the season, they tend to fall off towards the back end, and it's a really physical game that we play. Super League's a really tough competition, and for a young kid coming in, especially probably Max more so than anyone, to play fullback, it's probably the hardest role on the field to do. And I think Scott Griggs will be a great help for Max as well. You know, he might not play as many games this year as he did last year, but I think he'll learn a hell of a lot more from Griggsy being in there. As a fullback, if you can get an experienced fullback in to learn from, I think, you know, any of the players that were at Huddersfield when Brett Hodgson were there, just the amount of work and help that he did with the young kids there, bringing them through. You look at their outside backs now, like Jermaine McGilvray and people like that, they all learnt from the experience of other players. So I'm sure Max and Tom will be picking people like Griggs' brains and improving from it.
First of the game of the season, not that long away, with the friendly at Leeds on Boxing Day. You looking forward to it? Yeah,
definitely. I think this is always the hardest period for players. I think the training in pre-season is always really tough, the long days, and you know, I'm not complaining because it's a great way to live your life, but the thing that we look forward to most is games, and it's nice to get a chance to have a run out on Boxing Day.